Last week I attended a LEGO convention in Chicago called Brickworld, and this year I actually surprisingly held some restraint. By far this was the cheapest year for me when it comes to purchases, and I'm really proud of myself for that. And since I'm back now, I thought I would give you a little rundown of the convention as well as all of the things I managed to accumulate. Now, if you weren't aware, LEGO actually had a pretty big presence at this convention this year, as there was representatives from LEGO and they were holding a bunch of special events all regarding LEGO Ninjago. One of these events was a premiere of a new Ninjago episode, which I sat and watched simply because there was a chance that you could have gotten a free exclusive make and take. Either you were going to get a mini mech or a mini dragon, and either way, it's free LEGO, and I was really excited. And lucky for me, I actually ended up winning. However, I ended up giving away my make and take in its sealed bag to Sans, and he promised me that he was going to buy all of the pieces that were in that since I was just gonna part it out and he wanted an exclusive bag. But otherwise, I also got these two little Ninjago poly bags as I was exiting on the final day. I guess they just had a ton of them left over, and somehow I got two. These are going straight into my pot out pile. However, the poly bag and the little mech is actually pretty fun. There was also this fun like reflex game, which I was somewhat good at, and a bunch of other things going on around the Ninjago table. However, unless there's free LEGO, I wasn't particularly interested, although that reflex game was fun. But the main thing I ended up getting from this convention, and where a lot of my money went on to, was custom stuff. This is my favorite time to get custom things because I don't have to pay for shipping, and I like to support a lot of these companies. They do some incredible things. First off was this little custom Taylor Swift Eras Icon pad printed minifigure. I caught wind of this minifigure and I instantly ran when they were about to drop them because I did not want to miss out. Now, she ended up being $30, which is very, very reasonable for a pad printed minifigure. And it's also the same outfit of the ones that I did myself. However, the print quality on this is way better. And that was all I ended up getting from K-Town. Now, when it comes to Citizen Brick, who is a very, very popular custom thing, I ended up just getting a bunch of little minifigure heads. I got these blank facial expressions in both nougat and yellow, and also these dead faces because I thought they would be really fun for like videos along the line. And they also had these little like inflatable balloon looking things that said it's a boy and it's a girl, so I ended up getting one of them to give to my friend Emily, Emmasaurus, since she is expecting her baby very soon, and I thought that would be a neat gift. Then we have Eclipse Graphics, and this is where I definitely spent the most amount of money on custom stuff because they had so many printed window pieces. The first ones I want to talk about are these custom Hogwarts founder tiles. Now, I saw this on Instagram a few days prior, so I was like actively hunting for these, and I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to put them. I'm thinking maybe I'll put them in the window panel pieces, like up against my Hogwarts builds. Maybe if I decide to do a custom Hogwarts build one day, these would be quite handy. However, I just thought they looked really cool, and I love me some stained glass prints. But one of my favorite products from them are the custom movie posters that they do. I have a bunch of the Harry Potter ones, but it's at the point where I don't know which ones I have and which ones I don't have, so I just stayed away from the Harry Potter ones. But they ended up doing a bunch of Star Wars ones, so because I was so early to their table, I ended up grabbing all three of the prequel ones. I love the episode 1 one just because of the artwork that they have done on the Queen Amidala outfit. I mean, all of these are just absolutely beautiful. And with these, I have a very clear plan. I'm gonna get some extra window pieces and then some bricks and kind of build up a stand and then put it on my little like Padme Amidala episode 3 like prequel shelf thing that I've got going on. I just feel like these would match perfectly. And then because I couldn't help myself, I also got the original trilogy. They had 2 options for each of these movies, and I just kind of went with my favorites out of each of them. I'll probably end up doing the same display, although I don't really have like an original trilogy setup going on. And then lastly, I bought a bunch of these custom little album tiles. I have Michael Jackson's Thriller, I have Green Day American Idiot, Queen's Greatest Hits, Harry Styles' Fine Line, Lady Gaga's The Fame, and then I also got Taylor Swift's Speak Now, Reputation, and Folklore. I didn't end up getting the 10 pack because some of them look a little bit dodgy to me, and I prefer the art style that they've done on the newer stuff. It just looks way cleaner. Realistically, I probably should have bought like their record store like glass panel for a door and made a custom record store type of mock. But knowing myself, it's not like I'm gonna get to that anytime soon, and I'm probably gonna encounter one of their booths again before I get around to it. Inside of the little goodie bag this year, I have this like random castle looking figure, which I'm just gonna part out. I also got 2 of these tiny little bombs from Bricker Builds. I think that was an accident though, because I didn't end up getting a pin and I had to trade someone for a pin. Oh well. And then I also got this bag of brown pieces. I'll part that out and sort it eventually. And then throughout the convention, I collected an assortment of random bricks. These top two like Brickworld ones came in the bag, and then the rest I collected on the showroom floor. Now, speaking of the show floor, I ended up accumulating a couple of things. Firstly is this tiny little mini kit build that someone was just handing out in a lobby yard sale. I'm pretty sure this person actually is where I got a custom Padme minifigure from recently, so that's fun. Wait, it is. Yeah, I literally just ordered off their store recently. And then on the public days, there were a couple of things that I was very, very kindly given, and you will notice a theme throughout most of them, which actually is quite funny. So the first thing is Printed Toner Customs made this custom Padme Geonosis. She also has the ripped torso, but I've just left her in like fully sandy version. I love the cape on this thing, and they were very, very kindly to gift me one. I am so excited because I saw this on Instagram and I was thinking about buying it, and they very kindly offered to get me one. So she is going straight on my Padme shelf. And then speaking of Padme, I was also gifted these two Purist custom ones here. And then one of my favorite things of all is this custom Padme brick heads, which I was given to by the sweetest little girl and her parents. I feel so bad because I cannot remember her name, but it was honestly one of the highlights of my weekend, having an interaction with her. She was the sweetest thing ever, and she will also be joining my prequel shelf. And on the last day, I ended up getting this bag of minifigures from a longtime viewer of the channel, Christian, who, if you've watched any of my Brickling videos, you might remember that he has gifted me way too many things that I feel super, super guilty about, and I tell him this every single year because he ended up gifting me Rebels Ahsoka last year, which honestly was the most insane thing ever, and is the reason I have majority, if not all, of my Rebels minifigure collection. So inside this bag, because this is actually the first time I've properly opened it and looked through it, let's see. First up, we have Admiral Yularen from that poly bag. Oh, I have another Rebels Stormtrooper, as well as a old school, I believe this is the Tooth 12th clone, unless I'm getting the colors mixed up. That is my first old school clone, actually. That's pretty exciting. We have the King from Lord of the Rings, a Phase 1 and a Phase 2 basic clone, a Clone Commander, a 332nd Trooper, a 212th Trooper, and a 187th Trooper, as well as a Super Battle Droid and an assortment of regular battle droids, Han Solo from the Solo movie, and this R2 droid who I don't actually recognize straight off the bat. So I'll be sorting all of those into my collection, and Admiral Yularen will go with the rest of my Rebel stuff on the shelf there. Then he also gifted me this like Harry Potter little drawstring bag, which came in very handy on Sunday, and inside it's got one of those like Harry Potter stationery kits. I haven't actually tried out any of these. I've also never seen these in person. I knew that they existed, and inside it looks like there's some pretty neat stickers and like washi tape and a bunch of accessories, which I'm very excited about because I have been using my bullet journal a lot. Oh, it's got letters as well. Letters, envelopes, postcards, a sticker sheet, paper tape, sticky notepad, bookmark, page markers, and a broomstick gel pen. That's fun. So thank you again to Christian. I very much appreciate it. And then continuing on, we have a couple of things from one of my close friends, Lauren, Brightest Witch Bricks, who you might know from her Azkaban build that she built this year, which looked incredible, especially during World of Lights. Like the lightning effects looked amazing. And she very kindly went out and sourced one of the original Hagrid's Hut sets, which looks like it's in fantastic condition, as well as an original Hogwarts Express. Now the box for this is open and like slightly damaged, but seriously, I do not care. And the sticker sheet is in immaculate condition, and all of the bags are still sealed. So it is like practically brand new. I am so excited because I'm planning on doing a video going through all of the Philosopher's Stone sets that LEGO has ever released. And I'm hoping to do that sooner rather than later, and I am very, very excited to build this one. And now let's talk about the yard sale. Now the yard sale, going into it, it was not something that I was particularly excited for or interested in. I didn't really have anything off the top of my head that I really, really wanted outside of flying monkeys. So when a lot of these lobby yard sales started to happen, I just kind of went around asking people if they had any flying monkeys. And thankfully, someone overheard me talking about that and had a bunch extra that they were trying to get rid of. So I ended up getting an angry flying monkey, which I am very, very happy about because I plan on making some Wicked videos again later in the year when the new movie comes out. And the flying monkeys are like the one thing that I've been missing. I still need to get the smiling one, but that is much less of a concern now that I at least have one, and these figures are incredible. Then at the actual yard sales, I only ended up spending like $56. The first thing I got was this Sonic set from Firebird Bricks, which I only really bought because of Dr. Eggman and Shadow. I ended up selling the Super Sonic, I think it is, the yellow one, at the same yard sale that I bought it at, which was pretty good. And then the rest of it, I'm just gonna part out, and then there's like a couple of small builds in here that Sans wants, which I'll give to him. But I'm really excited because I'm trying to collect all of the main Sonic minifigures. And my friend Zane also gave gave me this free Minecraft poly bag for helping him set up, which was fun. And I also found the original Beast mini doll with the good head, which I'm gonna swap on my Beast minifigure just to make him look a little better, which I only paid $6 for him. Then I got the smallest Wicked set from Ant Bandit for 10 bucks, which I'm gonna put together at a later date. I just had to throw the box away because there was no storage in my suitcase. I got the Sorting Hat set from 2001 from Lego Harry Potter. This was also 10 bucks. I didn't even bother bargaining on this one because I didn't have much cash left at the time. Then I got 3 Toy Story aliens for 10 bucks. And then one of my best deals of the evening was the brand new Speed Champions Ferrari, which I found for 10 bucks. I was so happy when I saw this because I've been wanting to get a second one so that I can bedazzle it the same way that I did a second McLaren. So that's where this one is going and why it's already built. And then I guess I just have like a third Ferrari minifigure. I might add him to a keychain since I got another one of those like blind box ones recently. But 10 bucks for this, basically free. And then lastly was the free set that you got with your Brickworld ticket, which I ended up getting like a friend's recycling truck. This is one of the bags from it. It's getting parted out, but that is everything that I ended up accumulating from Brickworld. It was a very, very slow and just relaxed Brickworld compared to last year. Last year was a little insane, but overall it was a fun time and I'm glad that I didn't spend too much money because I do hope to go to some other conventions next year. Like I'd like to start going to some different events. I don't know if I'll do Brickworld again. We will see. I'll probably end up just like reserving things just in case, though I can't see myself going back. Like I would rather do some other stuff. But I want to say thank you to every single person who came up and said hi to me over the weekend. It absolutely made my day every time I got to speak to someone and I really appreciate it. And it was also lovely to spend a week hanging out with my friends. I had an absolute blast. But that is all for my little Brickworld haul slash recap. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing to my channel down below. And until next time, I'll see you later.